Let's talk about the biggest scam in modern politics, calling the United States racist because Americans want immigration laws enforced. That's not an argument, that's a silencing tactic. Because every sovereign nation on earth controls its borders and decides who can enter. That's not hate, that's the basic definition of a country. But somehow, America is the only place that's expected to take in everybody from everywhere at any pace, and if we don't, we're called names. Now, here's where the conversation gets dishonest on purpose. People keep mixing up three different things: sovereignty, asylum, and race. First, sovereignty. A nation has the right to say yes, no, or not yet. There is no global rule that says individuals have a right to choose any country they want and force that country to accept them. That's not how borders work. That's not how citizenship works. That's not how reality works. Second, asylum. Asylum is not a blank check for anyone who wants a better job or a safer neighborhood. Under international standards and U.S. law, asylum is for people who can show persecution based on specific protected grounds, like race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. Poverty is not asylum. General crime is not asylum. My country is unstable is not automatically asylum. That's not my opinion, that's the legal definition. And third, race. Since 1965, U.S. immigration law is not written to pick winners by race. The legal categories are things like family reunification, employment, and refugee or asylum standards. What people are really mad about is that the law doesn't guarantee them the outcome they want on the timeline they want. That's not racism, that's rules. Now let's talk about the cultural side, because this is where people get bullied into silence. Having concerns about an influx of immigrants changing the culture of your community overnight is not racist. It's normal. It's human. It's what every country on earth understands instinctively. If a community changes overnight, everything changes. Schools change, hospitals change, housing changes, wages change, public safety changes, language norms change. That's not a phobia, that's math. And assimilation is the deal, always has been. You can love your heritage, but if you move to a country and refuse to learn the dominant language, refuse to respect the laws, and treat the host country like a resource to extract from instead of a nation to join, you're not bringing diversity, you're bringing division. A healthy immigration system doesn't just ask, can we fit you? It asks, do you want to become one of us? Because if you don't get assimilation, you don't get one shared culture. You get parallel societies. You get people living next to each other, not with each other. And that's when resentment explodes on all sides. Now, let's address the line people love to use to justify illegal entry. I had to sneak in because the system is racist against brown and black people. No, the system is rules-based, and the truth is lots of people from all over the world, including brown and black people, immigrate legally every year. The issue isn't skin color. The issue is consent. The issue is process. The issue is whether the country agreed to your entry. Hardship is not a legal argument. Lots of people have hardship. The question is whether the receiving country consented and whether the entrant followed the process. You don't get to break into someone's house and then call them racist for wanting a lock. That's why the current administration's goals make sense. Enforce the border, tighten asylum so it's used for real persecution cases, remove incentives that turn illegal entry into a long-term lifestyle, and restore the idea that citizenship and residency mean something. A nation that can't control entry can't protect wages. It can't plan schools and hospitals. It can't vet threats. It can't maintain social trust. And it can't preserve the culture that made it worth coming to in the first place. So here's my question for the people screaming racist every time Americans demand borders. Name one country on earth that is required to accept everyone at any pace, with no vetting, no limits, and no expectation of assimilation, or else be called racist. You can't, because that country doesn't exist. America is allowed to be a nation. America is allowed to have borders. America is allowed to have standards. And Americans are allowed to defend their culture without being bullied into silence.